since we're on the pro-life issue, a death row inmate named John Ramirez had his execution halted by the Supreme Court on Wednesday night because he claimed that his religious freedom was violated if his pastor was not able to lay hands on him as he was being executed, which apparently is not something that they allow in Texas. I think they allow, I don't know what the rule is exactly, but they allow the pastor in there, but no one is allowed to make physical contact with the condemned as they are being executed. But he said this is a violation of his religious liberty, so the Supreme Court came in and they halted it, and this is going to go through the courts again. And then, but before the halt was announced, lots of Democrats on social media were once again claiming that pro-lifers are not really pro-life if they won't stick up for guys like John Ramirez. So here's one example. This is a tweet from a guy named Dan Green, who is he's the national communications director for something called Democrats for Life. These are Democrats who actually consider themselves to be pro-life, and yet they remain in the Democrat Party, which is it's like calling yourself a Satanist for Jesus. It doesn't make any sense at all. But this apparently is a group that exists and probably has about 5 people in it. Here's what he tweeted. He said, within a week of an abortion ban in Texas going into effect, Governor Abbott is killing John Ramirez on death row tonight. The last request of John, for his pastor to hold him as he dies. That request was denied. None of this makes sense. We need a consistent life ethic. I agree. We need a consistent life ethic. Let me tell you what the consistent ethic is. And it's actually very simple. It is always wrong, always immoral, and should always be illegal to directly and intentionally destroy innocent human life. You need all of those qualifications. All of those qualifications are important. Obviously we can't say it's always wrong to destroy human life, period, because that would mean that you can't even, self-defense is wrong. You can't shoot, if someone breaks in your house and tries to shoot you in the head, you can't defend yourself. That would mean that all war is bad. Every single war that's ever been fought on every side was wrong. And that doesn't make any sense. So that's why you need these kind of qualifications. You also, directly and intentionally is an important part of this too. Every time you get into a vehicle, there's the chance that you could indirectly and unintentionally kill someone. Even being sober, you could still, just by driving down the road, someone could run out in front of your car and you could kill them. You're driving down the road, someone runs in front of your car, you accidentally kill them. Are you a murderer now? Should you go to jail? Of course not. So that's why the pro-life ethic needs all of those qualifications. They're very important. What about John Ramirez? Well, what did he do to get himself on death row? He stabbed a convenience store clerk to death 29 times, stabbed him 29 times and killed him, and stole $1.25. So this is a man who butchered another man, stabbed him 29 times for less than $2. Now, what I would say to Dan Green and any other Democrat who advances this talking point, but you're pro-life, but you're in favor of capital punishment. If you can find an unborn baby who's guilty of stabbing someone 29 times and killing them, then maybe this comparison will begin to make sense. But I don't think you're going to find that. Because all unborn babies are, by definition, innocent. They've done nothing. They haven't harmed anyone. They are the most innocent human beings on the planet. They haven't had the opportunity to make any bad choices or to intentionally harm anybody. So that's the difference. This comparison, acting like you don't see any substantive difference between a baby and a murderer who stabs someone to death 29 times. I'm not sure I even believe it. I'm not sure that I believe that you don't see the difference. And this is another example where it actually works the other way. Just like the bodily autonomy argument, that works for vaccines. It doesn't work. It actually works against the pro-abortion side. Because what about the bodily autonomy of the unborn baby who you're destroying? So with this, when the Democrats raise the supposed pro-life hypocrisy on capital punishment, the hypocrisy goes the other way. They're the ones who have a contradiction that they need to explain. It doesn't trouble me at all to say that I am not in favor of executing babies in the womb, but I am in favor of executing convicted murderers. That's my position. For a lot of pro-life people, not all, that's our position. But for most Democrats, their position is the only people that they're in favor of executing are unborn babies. They're saying, don't execute the criminal, but execute the unborn baby. So whose position is more inconsistent? Which position needs further justification and explanation? The position that we should only execute convicted murderers, or the position that we should only execute unborn babies? Well, I hope you enjoyed that clip from the Matt Walsh Show. If you did, go ahead and hit that subscribe button right down there so you can stay up to date on all of our future content.